Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Clark, research analyst with Money and Markets. We're back here with another edition of Ask Us Anything. And just like last week, I thought that the question that I want to tackle was extremely important. And so I brought in Adam O'Dell, our chief investment strategist, but I also brought in Mike Carr, who's with True Options Masters, and both highly rated geniuses in the market. They both know their stuff. And Mike, we talked about last week about what you and Adam are both doing in these current fluctuating market conditions, and you brought up something that was interesting that I want to really hit a little harder on, and that is you said you've been working on looking at different asset classes and different things, but you finally have kind of locked into something that is now tradable, and you mentioned something about 43% gains, so that really took me by surprise initially. So
Matt, not to interrupt you, but I think you're off by about 3 zeros. He mentioned 43,000%.
43,000, yeah.
For anybody who's not already awake for that type of potential. And yeah, if I can just jump in, Mike, one of the things that I appreciate about you is your integrity. And I know that you've been working on this strategy a long time. And, prior to recently, the SEC did not make this strategy executable. And I applaud you because, a lot of other people might have launched this in an institutional format for only high net worth clients. But we're really about, bringing in the average retail investor, someone who may not have a ton of capital and may not have a ton of experience. And so can you answer for the viewers today, who is this strategy accessible, and what would you suggest they start off with?
Sure. So let's jump to what it is, and it's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is not an investment. It's not a store of value. It's not a currency. It is a trade because it goes up and down. And it's a wonderful trade because there's no fundamentals. It is purely technical. And that lets us develop great trading systems. Now, Matt, I know you said last time we're not going to give away the farm. I'm just going to give away a farm. That's here, okay. Not the one you're using. If you just slap a 20-day moving average on Bitcoin, you'll make more money than buy and hold. It's that simple. There are better ways, but there are more involved solutions, but it's just such an easy market to trade with technicals. And Adam, what the SEC did, the Securities and Exchange Commission finally approved an ETF that tracks Bitcoin prices. It uses futures. The average individual just should not trade futures. Lots of risk in that market that they are not prepared for. So with this ETF, we had the first step towards a solution to the problem I'd been working on. And after it'd been trading, it proved to be very liquid. The options market said, we will deliver options on this. So now we had a way to trade Bitcoin, whether it's going up or down. And 43,000% because we caught the majority of the uptrends and the majority of the downtrends. It's that simple.
So this is, we're talking about just one trade?
Basically, it's one trade. It's, we're going to use puts and calls. We're going to trade an average of about once a month. We're in and out on shorter term, but some of the trades have been open 6 months or more. And I call it, one of those video game trades where you have it open and you're watching your account equity just go round and round, up and higher for a long period of time. So Bitcoin is, I think, the ultimate video game trade.
Now, I don't know about Adam, but I'm not necessarily a crypto guy. I mean, I think there's some potential there. It's just, to me, that's just not. I'm more into blockchain than I would be into crypto, and those are two different things. They work together, but they're two different things. So, I mean, is this essentially, am I buying Bitcoin here?
No, absolutely not. We're not using a wallet. We're not doing any of that other stuff that makes Bitcoin so really difficult. And we're not holding on for dear life. We're using just a regular brokerage account. You can start this with $1,000, even less. Most of the trades have $300 or less at risk. So with $1,000, you build a reserve for some of the inevitable losses. And it's a realistic way to gain exposure to that market without having to become an expert.
and I'm still 43,000 is still in the back of my head here. I guess without jumping into too much detail, where does that come from?
That comes from the back test. Over 7 years, we're able to trade futures in the back test. And this was trading one Bitcoin. So you would buy or short one Bitcoin. If you actually use the futures contract, the gains are even higher. So we didn't want to, we didn't want to show an unrealistic expectation. $43,000 is what you would have made by buying and selling one Bitcoin at the right time.
Wow. Again, I'm still kind of in awe about that. And I'm probably not alone, but that's remarkable. Especially when you're looking at, crypto, which is very volatile, very much in flux. I mean, if you think the market is volatile, look at crypto. I mean, crypto is even more so. And you pinpointed a way to trade probably the one of the biggest asset classes in the world now, which is Bitcoin, do it without actually buying Bitcoin and being more profitable than if you were actually buying Bitcoin. Do I kind of have that summary right here?
That's exactly right. And if you do want to buy Bitcoin, it works for that as well. You could actually use this to buy Bitcoin and beat a buy and hold.
So this is something
I think the volatility here is the key point. I mean, a lot of people, the connotation with the word volatility is that it's bad. And that's true for buy and hold investors who are more or less a one-trick pony. They buy the passive S&P 500 and hold on and hope that it isn't volatile. But for traders and for trading systems and for systems that go long and short, volatility is the lifeblood of profits. And that's why, I mean, I've developed a lot of systems in my day that have had, many thousands and tens of thousands % returns over several years, but 43,000 is certainly the cream of the crop. And Mike, thanks for answering my question as far as what would it take for a new trader to get into this. It sounds like, if I can recap, you're saying $1,000 or less, you could get into the strategy. I know that options trade from a regular brokerage account. So if you have a brokerage account where you buy stocks, you should be able to get approved for options. And one of the other things I love about the strategies you run, Mike, which is very congruent with mine, is that when you buy an option, you have a limited amount of risk. You were talking about $300 per contract. And if you have some reserve on the side, if you put $300 into the contract and, it hits the fan, that's the most you can lose. You don't have to worry about unlimited risk. You don't have to worry about margin calls or having to deposit extra money with your brokerage account above and beyond what you have. So this is, as I see it, a very low risk way to trade a very high profitability market. So I think that what you've done here is phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
I agree. I'm just kind of blown away by that. And I do want to encourage that, if you want to know more about what Mike's working on, I would encourage you to do so. I really would. And we'll put a link up at the top here where you can find out a lot more about what Mike's working on and be involved in this opportunity. I mean, 43,000%. That's impossible to turn your nose up at, especially with the market being in the broader market being in flux the way it is. To have the potential for 43,000% gain, with basically one trade in one of the largest asset classes in the world. Again, that's something that you at least want to get more information about, and definitely encourage you to do that with that link right up top there. Adam, Mike, definitely appreciate all the time, the hard work that you guys put in. I know that all three of us, Charles, both of our teams, we're working to find people profit in any market condition, whether it's bull, bear, neutral, doesn't matter. That's what we're working for, and we're doing that for everyone. That's our intent. So definitely want you to check out what Mike's got got cooked up his sleeve, because it sounds awfully appetizing, if you will. Mike, Adam, again, appreciate it. Guys, check out more on our YouTube page. If you're not subscribed already, do hit that subscribe button, mash that notification bell right next to it, and get notified every time we put up a new video. Also, check out moneyandmarkets.com. It is your home for safe, sound, smart, simple, adaptive, profitable investment information for your portfolio. You can check out our stock power rating system on moneyandmarkets.com. You can use that absolutely free. So, Adam, Mike, appreciate it again. Thanks so much. I'm Matt Clark, research analyst for Money and Markets. Until next time, everyone, safe trading.